Hey everybody, today's video brings us out to the Lower Perkiomen Valley Park where there's a ton of geese out at. And the reason why I wanted to come out here today is because I actually haven't been out here since I was a pretty little kid. I don't know about you guys, but I used to be part of Cub Scouts. I was never a Boy Scout, never went further than Cub Scouts. Made it to Weeblo. I had the Arrow of Light badge and all that stuff. They had this big ceremony for me and whatnot because I graduated from Cub Scouts and I could have gone into Boy Scouts, but I never actually did become a Boy Scout. At that point, I figured, you know what, I've gone far enough, and also I think my friends would have made fun of me had I continued into Boy Scouts because let's face it, when you reach a certain age, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts kind of become a nerdy thing, and I don't know, I guess I was just too cool for Boy Scouts. Looking back on it, maybe I should have done Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts could have been kind of fun, but anyway, I used to be a Cub Scout. I kind of miss Cub Scouts. Being a Cub Scout back in the day was a fun thing. All kinds of fun activities you would go to. I think we used to hold it in my local church. It was like the basement of the church is where we had our Cub Scout meetings. I remember for Christmas, we do all kinds of like Christmas events, and we'd hold like a pageant and all that kind of stuff. And then at Halloween, we'd carve pumpkins, we'd make Halloween costumes, we'd make our own Halloween costumes, and then we'd march in the town's Halloween parade. I remember doing that. What else did we do? We did Pinewood Derby cars. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I have trophies somewhere at home. I have my Pinewood Derby trophies. I think for 2 years in a row, I actually won first place for Pinewood Derby. I know I have the actual Pinewood Derby cars. I remember finding them a couple of years ago when we actually, well, I guess it was more than a couple of years ago. Gosh, at this point, over 10 years ago, I think it was. Jeez, it's been a while since my father unfortunately passed away and we moved into the house we're in now. But anyway, when we moved into the house, I found my old Pinewood Derby cars. I don't know what I did with the trophies. They got to be around somewhere. But anyway, my old Pinewood Derby cars are there. I won 2 years in a row. That was awesome. That was amazing. I remember doing all kinds of fun stuff with Cub Scouts. I miss the days of Cub Scouts. I never had my son join. I never hear people talk about Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts anymore. In fact, well, I should say the last time I heard people talk about Boy Scouts, it wasn't in a positive way. There was some, I guess, bad things going on when it came to the Boy Scouts, but I guess they still do Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, right? That's still a thing. I don't really hear people talk about it anymore for whatever reason. Nobody really ever brings it up, and I don't think any of Sean's friends that I know of anyway do Cub Scouts. When I was a kid, Cub Scouts was like the thing to do. Every kid in school, all the boys did Cub Scouts, all the girls did Girl Scouts. With like everybody did it. But nowadays, I don't really hear people talk about it much. But anyway, the reason why I want to come out here to this park is because this is the park where I used to go to Cub Scout Camp. Yes, that was a thing. Cub Scout Camp. Over the summer, I would come out here and I would participate in all the fun events of Cub Scout Camp. We would do archery, we would shoot BB guns, we would do fishing, and then we would do all kinds of other things. I think we would make all kinds of arts and crafts and play sports. We shot rockets. Oh my gosh, I remember that out in that field, right? The field right there. We actually shot rockets. We would make our own rockets and shot them up into the sky. That was awesome. I almost forgot about that. We would do like leather working and stuff like that. All kinds of fun, interesting things that you have to know, as an adult. You gotta know how to build rockets and how to make stuff out of leather and shoot a BB gun and shoot a bow and arrow, maybe fish, all kinds of stuff you have to know as an adult. But I haven't been out here since I was in Cub Scout Camp. This here is the main picnic center, as it says. And this here is actually where we used to have our meetings. This is where every morning we would meet up and have all our meetings. I don't remember these doors being, maybe these doors were here. In my mind, I remember these doors at least always being open. They look like they've been here for a long time. Then again, I'm an old man. So these doors could have been put on here afterwards. These doors may not have been here when I was little, when I went to camp here. They could have put these on a couple years after I went to camp here, and they would still look this old because I'm 40 years old. I'm an old man now. These could have been here for a good like 20 something years, like 30 years. Wow, would have been like 30 years at this point. Jeez, that's crazy. But I don't remember there being doors here. I remember this just being an open pavilion. Also, it looked a lot bigger. I remember it in my head as being a much bigger pavilion. But again, I was a little kid at that point. So in my head, it was a lot bigger. Now it seems a lot smaller. In fact, things do that when you grow older. But this is where we used to meet every morning. My mom would park, I guess, over here or up there or whatever. I don't remember. She'd park wherever. She'd drop me off. I'd come down here, my backpack and whatever I was wearing, maybe my Cub Scout. I don't think we wore a Cub Scout uniforms. I think we wore like shorts and t-shirts because we were gonna play sports and do things that would get us all messy. We'd come down here and we would meet here, and that's where we have our morning meetings, talk about what we were gonna be doing, and then we'd be lower restrooms are closed for the season. Please use upper restrooms. So we would have our meetings here, and then we'd eat our lunch here and whatnot. But I haven't been back here, like I said, since I was a little kid. Last time I was down here was when I was still a Cub Scout and going to Cub Scout Camp. I want to walk through these fields, but as you can see, they're very muddy. We actually had a lot of rain and snow yesterday, and as such, the fields are just covered in mud. But out in this field here is where we used to play soccer and baseball and all kinds of sports, where we shot the rockets off. Those were the days. Did you ever belong to Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts? If you did, leave a comment down below. What are your memories of being a Cub Scout and or being a Boy Scout or being a Girl Scout? If you're a lady and you're watching this, if you were a Girl Scout, let me know about that. I don't really know much about Girl Scouts. I was never part of Girl Scouts. But if you were, leave a comment down below. Again, we're here at the Lower Perkiomen Valley Park. It's a pretty decent sized park too. It's a pretty cool place. I remember doing like archery and stuff. I think right over, it all looks a lot different than it did when I was a kid. I remember there being another building over here. Maybe it might have been right here, or whatever this is. I mean, this is obviously a building. I do remember there being a building somewhere, I guess around here. And I think we shot maybe the BB guns or the archery or something was behind it. I want to see the BB guns behind the building. So I think we shot like up against the building, obviously, because you don't want any straight bullets hitting anybody. So I want to say maybe that's what we used to do. So right around here, I think was like maybe this was the BB range, or maybe this was the archery range or something. I can't fully remember, but I do remember there being another building, because I remember shooting BBs and doing archery right around there. I want to say they've definitely built this place up. They've made it different in the last like 30 or so years since I've last been out here. I live in this area. I don't live too far away from here. I drive up and down the highway that runs right up there all the time. I drive past this park so many times. Hundreds of thousands of times probably over the last 30 years I've driven past this park, but I never actually came back out here to check it out. But I figured today I do some reminiscing, just bring back those memories of when I used to be in Cub Scouts and how much fun Cub Scouts used to be. I'm actually surprised I don't see more people out here, and I say that because there are a ton of cars parked up there, and I honestly thought I was going to come down here and just see kids running around and people down here doing stuff, but there's not really that many people. In fact, there's like nobody down here. I don't know where everybody is right now. It's kind of weird that there's that many cars up there, but nobody down here in the actual park. Maybe they know something. There's like one person over there. Maybe they know something I don't know. Look at this tree though. This is crazy. Look at this thing. This tree has completely toppled over. They've cut the whole thing down. Look at that. Ooh, it's very muddy right here. That is nuts. You can see the underside of it too. This is so cool. I love when you can see the root systems of the trees. Look at that. That is awesome looking. So cool, so amazing, so neat. Again, just want to come back out here, reminisce of my times of being a Cub Scout, all the fun I used to have out here. I just thought, let's come down here. Let's just see what the place looks like. See if I have any memories come back to me. Not necessarily, but I just remember coming out here as a kid, enjoying my days as a Cub Scout, shooting bows and arrows, shooting BB guns, fishing, playing sports, shooting rockets off, all that fun stuff, and meeting right over there. Whoa! You almost saw me break my neck. That is all mud right there, and it's crazy, ridiculously slippery. It's actually a mess out here right now. Ugh. And my shoes covered in mud. That's fun. Yeah, that's fun. Anyway, it's a mess out here right now. It's crazy flooded from all the rain / the rain/snow we got yesterday. It's not too bad, I'll say, as far as temperature-wise is concerned. This morning, it was crazy cold. Now the sun is actually like out, and it doesn't feel so bad today. But as you can see from yesterday, got a lot of water falling from the skies yesterday, and it made a mess out here. Like I said, I would love to go walk through the fields. I was gonna go walk down towards the river and show you guys the river down there. I remember one time as a kid, I caught a frog with a fishing pole. We were fishing, and a frog actually jumped up and got my fishing line, and we had to take the hook out of the frog's mouth. I felt so bad. Like, it's weird. A fish, I'm like, whatever, you catch a fish, you know, you take the hook out, you throw it back in, and it's good to go. But something about a frog, I felt really bad hooking a frog when I was a kid. I liked amphibians. I still do. A fish, you know, fish are okay, whatever, but I think frogs are pretty awesome. So even to this day, I would not want to hook a frog. I felt really bad about that. But he took my bait. He took the bait. It was for a fish. But he took it, or she took it. It took it. I hooked a frog. Did not mean to do that. One of my first times ever fishing, and I caught a frog instead of an actual fish, which is crazy. I want to say there's also a memory of a friend of mine who was hanging from a branch over here. I remember this. I remember this because it's a weird story. He had red underwear on. And the reason why I remember that is because he was hanging from a branch from a tree right over here. And he had, I guess, shorts on that were too baggy for him or something like that, or too big for him. I remember his shorts fell down as he's hanging from this tree, and his shorts fell down, and he had red tighty whities on. And I guess, I don't know, back in the was that 90s? I guess that would have been the like late 80s, early 90s. I want to say maybe early 90s. I forget what it was. Late 80s, early 90s, probably late 80s. The more I'm thinking about it, all the kids, you know, were tighty whities back then. No kids wore boxers or boxer briefs back then. It was all about the tighty whities. However, they were all tighty whities. We all had white underwear back then. So when you saw somebody with red underwear, that was like, what? It's crazy. So I remember for a while we made fun of him for that because he wore red underwear. Strange story. See, now the stories are trying to flood back, catching frogs and kids in their red underwear. Strange, crazy stories. That's about all I can remember though. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Just want to come out here to this park, share some memories, reminisce a little bit, just kind of, again, just to come back out here and just see the old place that I used to come to every, like, Monday through Friday during the summer for I think like 2 or maybe 3 years straight. I did this for a couple of years. I don't know why I ever stopped coming out here. I don't know why I stopped coming to Cub Scout Camp. For some reason, I stopped coming. Maybe because I was out of Cub Scouts at that point, or I know I started going to the YMCA camp. I did that for a while. Maybe we should go to my old YMCA camps. We should do that at some point. Maybe we will. Maybe when that's summer, we'll go, or maybe we shouldn't do it in summer. Maybe before summer, when camp starts back up. I'm assuming they'd still do camp down there. I have no idea. Anyway, maybe we'll go back to my old YMCA camps and we'll remember that. I miss YMCA camp. That was fun. YMCA camp was, maybe that's why I went to a different camp. Cub Scout camp was fun and all, don't get me wrong. But man, thinking back to the YMCA camp, that was fun. I had such a blast at those camps. I kind of miss going to those. That was a good time. The old YMCA camps. But anyway, guys, like I said, did you go to Cub Scout camp? Was Cub Scout camp the thing that you used to do? Were you in Cub Scouts? Were you in Boy Scouts? Were you in Girl Scouts? Did you go to Girl Scout camp? Is that a thing? I guess that was a thing probably. Did you ever do anything like that? If you did, leave a comment down below. Let me know your memories and your thoughts. What was your favorite part of being a Cub Scout? I'm trying to think of my favorite part. I want to say maybe Halloween was my favorite part of being a Cub Scout, just the Halloween season. Because I remember carving the pumpkins, which was fun. And I remember making our own costumes for the parade, which was fun. We would make them out of cardboard and all kinds of stuff like that. It wasn't about going to a store and buying a store-bought costume. The store-bought costumes, you know, that's what you wear to actually go out trick-or-treating with your friends or your family. But we make our own costumes to actually wear, and they would all be themed to something. We make our own costumes, our own themed costumes to wear every year for the actual Halloween parade, and then we march in the Halloween parade, the town's Halloween parade. So I'm gonna say Halloween was probably my favorite memory of being in Cub Scouts. That was a good time. But the winning the Pinewood Derby for 2 years in a row, that was also pretty nice as well. Gotta find those trophies. Gotta figure out what I did with those. Anyway, guys, so what are your favorite memories of being a Cub Scout or Boy Scout, if you were a Cub Scout or Boy Scout, or again, Girl Scout? Look at the size of this grill. That is intense. They got like the normal small ones over there. This one here, man, you could do some serious cooking on this thing. That's awesome. Come out here and cook a steak on this. That's amazing. I love that. Anyway, all right, so let me know your memories. Let me hear what you guys have to say about being a Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Girl Scout. I want to hear your memories. Or maybe it was a different kind of scout. I know I have a lot of European viewers. Did you have Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and Girl Scouts over in Europe? Or do you have some kind of other scouts over there? Let me know. Let me know about that. I'm not entirely sure. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Like I said, I just want to come down here, reminisce my times of Cub Scout Camp, see the old place, since it's probably been about 30 years since I've actually last been down to this park. There's actually a playground over there. When it dries out, I'm gonna bring my son back here. We'll go play in the playground, go down to the river. I'll definitely come back out here now that I know this place is actually pretty nice. Just not after it has rained and snowed, because it's a mess out here right now. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go try to clean my shoes off before I get back in my car, because they're full of mud right now. But at least I didn't follow my butt. That would have stunk. It would have been funny for you guys, would have been great for the video, but not so much for me. But all right, so as always, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for a link to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro rest stop t-shirts. Proceeds both from Spreadshirt and from Patreon do get help putting gas in Vanabelle in a pumpkin, so we can come out to awesome places like this, and I can reminisce about my life 30 years ago. I'm gonna be 41 this year. Holy crap. I am an old man. I am not happy about that. But anyway, guys, so thanks for watching. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you guys do hit that subscribe button, or you are subscribed, then I will see you in tomorrow's video. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys. Bye. Wait a minute, hold on. I don't usually edit these videos, but I feel like I had to throw this on at the end, because how did I forget to say this to you guys? I, David Eisenhower, promised to do my best, to do my duty, to God and my country, to help other people, and obey the law of the pack. I still remember that.